Yes, that's right, $1,000. My $1,000 mistake. Here on my channel, I like to share the good, the bad, and the ugly. With each video I make, I want you as the viewer to take something of value away from it. And if that means putting my dumbness on display, so be it. But first, hello, my name's Sirena from SincerelySirena.com. I'm a busy mother, online teacher, entrepreneur. I love learning how you can up your teaching game, your entrepreneurial game by sharing tips, tricks, and inspiration here on my channel. I have learned a ton of things this past year about growing my business, about scaling, about teaching online, being a successful teacher online. I want to take a moment to thank this video sponsor, Skillshare. I have done a lot of learning this year through YouTube videos, through paid for courses, as well as awesome courses through Skillshare. If you don't know, Skillshare is an online community with millions of users where members can take courses from leaders almost in every industry, from photography, business marketing, how to create a raised garden bed, the raised garden bed of my dreams one day. My favorite courses that I have taken so far have been building an Etsy shop that sells, strategy for e-commerce success. Why not learn from Etsy's own content producer, Parker Gard? And currently I am taking a Pinterest strategy course that I can't wait to share with you what I have learned. The best thing is that there are no ads and many of the courses walk you step by step and give you workbooks. Could I learn the same things from YouTube? Yes, but I would have to do a lot of searching, a lot of piecing together, a lot of time that me as an online teacher, an entrepreneur, I don't have a lot of. Time is precious, and I love that I can go onto Skillshare, not sit through ads, and everything is basically ordered from start to finish. It's all there organized in one place. And the cool thing is that I do not have to shell out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for each individual course. Skillshare is a membership site where users and learners come and pay a monthly fee to take all the courses to their heart's content. Skillshare is generously offering the first 1,000 people that hit that link down below a free 14 days to try their premium Skillshare membership for free. You get to practically consume all you want for free for 14 days. Okay, so now to my $1,000 mistake. And I have mentioned on this channel before that one of my most popular classes, one of my most successful classes have been an ongoing type class, and that I highly recommend all Outschool teachers have at least one section of an ongoing course. But I don't know if I've ever mentioned the way Outschool tallies these courses, or the way they give credit to teachers besides paying them, of course. So every teacher, every Outschool teacher has a profile, and on that profile it lists stats for parents and learners to view before they decide to book it. And one of those stats is the amount of classes that the teacher has completed. So generally, if you're looking at a teacher profile and that teacher has a lot of classes, they have a lot more experience on the platform than, say, a teacher that has very little classes that they have performed. The one thing that bothers me a lot, and I hope Outschool someday changes this, but right now it's still this is the way they do it. Outschool counts as ongoing sections once, no matter how many times that teacher teaches that section. If they teach it 4 times, they get counted once. If they teach it 600 times, it still only gets counted as once. In the fall semester, I had 3 different ongoing sections. Each of those sections met 20 times. So 20 times 3, I had taught those sections 60 times. So instead of my teacher profile reflecting that I taught 60 more classes, I only got credit for 3. In the weeks following up to winter break, I knew that I was going to take a winter break because I needed one so badly. And I knew that my students were also going to take a break as well. I also knew that I was going to create a brand new ongoing class, and that I was probably going to rearrange and adjust my teaching schedule to add in a couple more brand new ongoing classes. So I thought I was going to make everything easier on myself and decided not to add more meeting times to those original ongoing classes that I had for first semester. I decided to do this early December, so I thought I was going to give give my students plenty of time to re-enroll in those new sections. So I had given my students plenty of reminders. If they want to continue on this class next year, then they would have to re-enroll into those new sections. Do you know the beauty of ongoing classes for Outschool? The ease. Students are auto-renewed every week in those ongoing classes and stay in that ongoing class until they don't want to be there anymore, which means that the teacher is going to be paid on a weekly basis for those students. Thanks to Skillshare, I have studied and learned a lot about selling a product this year. One thing I've learned, and I obviously forgot, is never make buying your product hard on the consumer. Business 101, basically, never make it hard on the consumer. I knew better. The consumer are our parents and our learners. We are selling a product, whether if you want to think about your teaching as a product, but it is basically a product, it's e-commerce. They were buying your product, aka the class. I put myself and my vanity stats above my consumer, aka above my students. Are you ready to learn the fallout of my mistake? Are you ready for some math? Because I'm about to do some math on you. Okay, so pre-winter break, I was consistently making for these 3 ongoing classes about $84 a class, which equaled about $252 a week for these 3 ongoing sections. When I came back from winter break, my brand new ongoing sections, they were about a third filled. I lost a lot of my students. However, and so I did drop one of my sections because I knew I needed to add more for one of my new classes that I was going to put into my schedule. So I lost about $84 a week on that dropped ongoing section. Keep in mind, I was making about $250 per week for these 3 ongoing classes. But if I didn't include that third class, I could say for 2 sections, I was consistently making $168 per week on these 2 full ongoing sections. All right, so let's talk about what my January numbers reflect compared to what my pre-break numbers reflect. Now keep in mind, if I took out that third class, I was consistently making about $168 for 2 sections. So I brought those 2 sections from pre-break to January, but they are now brand new sections that I expected my old students to re-enroll. Well, I only had about a third of those sections full. So the first week back, I made about $84 a week on 2 sections. And on the second week back, I made about $104 for those 2 sections. The third week back, I made about $126 for those 2 sections. And then the fourth week, I am about almost close to my pre-break income to $147 per those 2 sections. So before break, I was making $168. 4 weeks after, I finally kind of regained that momentum and regained new learners into those class, making about $147. So I am almost back to my pre-break income, but I certainly took a income cut from what I was making before. Now I know January is historically low on Outschool, and who's to say that after Christmas break, if I still continued those old sections, I'm gonna say that my pre-break students were going to stick into my, but dang, did this mistake really take the win out of my sales? It's not just money loss, it's student loss. I very much enjoyed my students before break, and I know that they enjoyed taking class with me, and I know that they are not in charge of their enrollments, and Zeus only knows like how crazy life is right now for parents of students. They already took time to enroll their student once into my class, and I made my product harder for them to buy by putting another step on them. I am sharing my story of my pre-break income and the aftermath of my mistake, not to brag on my income in any way, but I want you to learn something from my mistake. So I know there is a lot of talk on some of the Outschool forums. What should I do with my ongoing class? I am going to be taking vacation. Should I just go ahead and stop it and re-enroll? So here is my takeaway. Don't stop your ongoing classes. Schedule out. If you have to take a vacation for any way, just don't schedule those weeks on vacation, and be very clear to your students and your parents. Have that open communication saying, hey, I'm taking a break, but I can't wait to see you when we start back up. Don't worry, you don't have to re-enroll or anything. As long as you're enrolled in my class the Sunday before we start back up, I will see you that class. Do I regret taking a break? No, I don't, because I needed a break. I have not taken a break from work in 1.5 years. So I really needed the break, but I do wish that I just continued those ongoing classes and not just completely cut them off, because I miss those students and I don't know what happened to those students. If you're watching, dear student, please come back to Miss Serena's class. I did not mean to abandon you. I really thought you were going to come back to me. So okay, so what do you guys think? Do you guys like hearing my mistakes and learning from them? Opening up and sharing them with the world? Do you have some mistakes that you want to share with others? Let me know down in the comments below. And you know what? I have a lot of Outschool teacher mistakes that I have done. I am not a perfect Outschool teacher. I have done things that were financially probably a big mistake, like this one. Classes that bombed. I have tons of Outschool mistakes that I would love to share with you, but let me know if you want to hear about my mistakes down below. Thank you so much for watching, you guys.